it goes. And like you said, this is the round of 8 game. It is DeathToLlamas on the top versus Feel the Vibe on the bottom. On DeathToLlamas' team, we have onisnake playing as Rammus, HaIfhearted playing as Maplhite, TempestEP playing as Wukong, ZenithZephyr playing as Hecarim, and Wawix playing as Ryze. I'm Gandair. Casting with me is Chobra. Chobra, who do we have on the other team?
On the purple side, on the bottom of the screen here, we have Feel the Vibe. We have Take Your Pill on Maokai, Totalment on Swain, Armor on Amumu, BuddhaRice on Ezreal, and Spawnlegacy on that newly brought over Full Metal Pantheon artwork. That actually looks really good, in my opinion.
Yeah, the artwork in this game just keeps going up and up and up in quality. If you look at some of the older champions in the game and compare their art to some of the newest art, it's just like, whoa. I didn't really realize it until Heartseeker Vayne came out, and I saw the art for that, and just like, oh my god, this is just like so crisp and awesome, and the images are a lot sharper with some of the newer champions than versus some of the older champions, and it's just, oh, it's so good. It's really freaking awesome. Also, you mentioned it earlier, do we have colorblind mode on the stream?
Yes, we do.
Sweet.
Or we should.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I think ever since I started casting, I've just been playing and casting all over the place with colorblind mode, so that should be what it is.
Alright.
Hopefully. I'll double check that when we load in here. I'm still stuck here on summoning.
Where's Euthrosine's toaster? Is that holding us up? No, it's not. There we go. In the game. You were there for that cast, right? The Euthrosine toaster one? Or was I casting with Bird for that one?
It might have been Bird. Might have heard about it. I don't distinctly recall that, though. Colorblind mode is on.
Woo!
Oops, so red team and blue team. Yeah, so it's been kind of the topic. I mean, Hecarim Ghost, is it worth it? I mean, I've tried him a couple times in Summer's Rift. That is the main mode I do play, but the percent change is not that great. I mean, right now it's okay. So it's 12.5% of his bonus movement speed. That adds 35% of his movement speed. I mean, how much does that really give you? Usually go up to like around over 500 with Ghost. Is that really worth it? You don't get much.
Shrine will give you around 500-ish, something like that.
Yeah, with the speed shrine, but then it's still not comparable to say something like Eye of the Storm. You know, you get a free BF sword. It's nowhere near that. I mean, of course, Ghost offers the utility of the actual summoner spell, but I mean, it's debatable. We'll see. Let's see if it comes through.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ghost. I wish I could still use it. I take Revive instead because Revive's really good, but I'm a big fan of Ghost+Exhaust play on Dominion because I like having that mobility and that ability to ignore collision. It helps me dive to the squishies a lot faster. Amumu's starting with a Giant's Belt, which is kind of neat. That is something that happens, but I don't see too much. I like doing it once in a while, and I haven't really found a super clear use for doing it, but we're going to have the engagement happen off the point here as Armor gets caught between a rock and a spiky place, everyone engaging on him right away, trying to get Amumu down as fast as possible, and it looks like they are going to be successful in doing that. Spawnlegacy now trapped, and everyone's on the wrong side of him, completely cutting off his retreat path, and he's getting eaten alive right there. Laser Bird from Swain doing a whole bunch of damage. HaIfhearted is going to back up and begin capping that point now, but the health kind of low on DeathToLlamas' side of the teams here. BuddhaRice low on mana, Totalment low on mana, however, ZenithZephyr has a lot of mana. He can still contribute a lot. He's going to throw down against BuddhaRice right here, but no, wow, Exhaust, Snare, Stun, everything bad happening to him at once. I think that's poaching is what they call that when horses take that much damage, and TempestEP is just narrowly getting out of there with the stealth, a little bit of stealth shenanigans. BuddhaRice putting in some damage as best he can from the back. That's potion running there. Totalment low on health, low on mana, and is going to get taken out. Yes, Wukong following just thereafter. And now the battle is up to BuddhaRice, who's been there from the beginning, who still has a revive, mind you, if he dies. onisnake, who's alive still, and he's going to get taken off. But now Hecarim is going to hit that speed shrine, and he is heading up towards the top and is going to just chill. He's going to wait for his team. They're going to regroup. They're going to pull a move when they come back to life. And right now, it is 3 caps to 2 in favor of Feel the Vibe.
Feel the Vibe. Yep. I mean, that's exactly where we saw that Revive not being there hurt DeathToLlamas. They had a lot of damage up, but they took out a lot of people in the beginning, but Ezreal just staying alive throughout that fight. Still hasn't needed to use his Revive. Just went back to base, healed, got 3 kills, 4 assists. Is going to come back with a pickaxe. Still has pots. He's looking pretty good so far. It's going to go AD. We're looking from the pickaxe, so that's in a way a bit more standard, but of course you see AP Ezreal here and there in all sorts of game modes. And onisnake actually looking for a slight backup here at the drill. Pantheon's nearby though, but HaIfhearted is showing up with TempestEP falling closely behind, so 3 tanky dudes with pretty good damage. They're just keeping Spawnlegacy at the drill. I mean, both teams kind of split up right now. There's, you know, 1 or 2 people running around on their own here and there.
With that back cap, they force position from the other team by making Pantheon have to go there and have to respond to it, or making any champ, if it wasn't Pantheon, have to respond to that. And Spawnlegacy going for that center relic, but is going to... Whoa, that was really cool. Jumps out of the way, but still gets caught ultimately in the end, taking a lot of damage. The Ezreal ult comes down. And Armor now being the next one to fall, maybe? No, TempestEP is going to go down, and then onisnake is going to go down. Armor just narrowly escaping. It's the painkiller escape where you live with 2-digit hit points. Seems to be a recurring theme in these games as Totalment goes up and chases ZenithZephyr away. Catches him with the snare though, he's going to put off that much damage. Got the Ravenous Flock, it's activated. BuddhaRice coming up there as well, looking to make a play for him, and he might escape. No, not with that Arcane Shift. He is going to get taken out.
Yep, and we talked about that, you know, range buff Swain got. It's just a little bit, but it matters. You know, you can kind of lead the enemy now comfortably and catch them with that snare, and then you put down the laser bird, and you really don't have an escape unless you have, you know, one of your summer spells up, unless you have blink. We saw Hecarim try to use his ultimate to get over there. It does displace you. It works as a semi-blink. Also terrorizes the enemy is the new term for it, as it pushes them away from your landing point. However, it was not good enough with the Arcane. Oh, great Arcane Shift as he gets taunted by Rammus. We have the man drop coming in from Spawnlegacy for blue team. They're going to take out BuddhaRice immediately from the blue team, but now they're just running really low. I mean, HaIfhearted is low. Rammus was low. Being played by onisnake, and now ZenithZephyr is alone. So even though they got Ezreal out ASAP, he still had his Revive for one thing, so he's back in the action. And the other 3 were just too healthy, and they also had good damage. Spawnlegacy with that Storm Shield, on top of that Man Drop, you know, tons of damage.
Yeah, very, very tanky team, but they really haven't gotten those builds going to really get that durability rolling yet. Rammus, you know, if you play against him early game, he's a little squishy. You will feel that as a Rammus player. But once you get your build rolling a little bit, you start to get that durability up and things start swinging the other way. And I think that's what's going to happen in this game if things start to turn around, because right now they're in kind of a bad spot. I mean, they're off to a really rough start here. It's still very early, however, but if things change up, you know, they get that durability rolling, they start doing some major dives, they can swing this around. Though it's that AoE damage from Swain and Amumu that kind of makes me wonder if that's going to be the foil to this comp in the end game, or if they're just going to get, you know, picked apart by little burst engagements here or there. And an engagement over here by the Speed Shrine, BuddhaRice blinking or arcane shifting out, but getting caught by the Airborne there. We got the Amumu ult and just one ult after another over there. HaIfhearted trying to regroup with his buddies up there, but it might not help. ZenithZephyr going to get taken out there, and Spawnlegacy trying to put some damage on him. BuddhaRice just a little bit too far away for them to be able to focus, and onisnake is going to go down, and Spawnlegacy... It's
oh wow!
It's the painkiller survival. 2-digit hit points once again. Lots and lots of narrow misses so far this game for DeathToLlamas.
Yep, Spawnlegacy gonna go right ahead and port back to base. Actually, everyone, maybe BuddhaRice might just hang out with the health relic here, so just get some sustain and hang out until the team comes back. Blue team is going to maybe shift focus here a little bit, kind of change the game flow around the map. They're going to try to take out Maokai here with Ryze. Gets him up against the wall with that knockback. But can Maokai live? No, he's not going to be able to live. He's just hiding them around, delaying the fight as long as he can within his ult. It reduces incoming damage that are not from the tower. And we do have Spawnlegacy nearby. He's going to have to defend on his own until Maokai comes in. Maokai does have his Revive. He just used it. Look at that speedy tree. He's going to come right in. Going to get the Twisted Advance onto Hecarim first, and then going to try to get in range to Wawix. But actually, Pantheon's going to go down first. Wawix is going to get out alive, and ZenithZephyr is just going to back off for the time being. trying to just kite some damage on Take Your Pill, but we see a back ping going down, most likely from blue team.
And up at the top of the map, there was another foiled attempt at getting that top tower, as onisnake is now fleeing back towards the refinery. That tower was neutraled. However, though Swain is up there, Totalment is going to pick that back up. And, you know, another note, you're talking about the change to Swain's range. It did a thing where, you know, where once you could be just slightly out of range and able to hit him, now it's, oh, you're gonna get hit in the exchange. And I think that's one of the big things that's turned up, you know, how often he gets played. And we see here, there is BuddhaRice. No, he's going to Arcane Shift out of that. HaIfhearted is not going to throw down that ult to try and get him. He's going to save that for later. TempestEP hanging around as well. It looks like they're making another move for the top. However, they are going to get sandwiched here. You know, two top, two coming up from the bottom. Totalment in the middle of the fight with the Ravenous Flock going off there. Damage being sprayed around. We got an ult from Wukong and Amumu, but Wukong is going to get taken out. And it looks like HaIfhearted is going to go down. So with ZenithZephyr and onisnake as well, now on the run from Swain. That tankiness is really not showing its face there.
You know, BuddhaRice gets the unofficial quadra kill, and you're seeing the effect of that Infinity's Edge, just putting out lots of bursty but persistent damage with his auto attacks, of course, along with his skills. And BuddhaRice playing a really good Ezreal, just being able to Arcane Shift out as soon as he sees the enemy engaging, gets out of those crowd control ultimates from the enemy team, and then just puts out a lot of damage from behind his front line, composed of Pantheon, Amumu, and Swain, working out really well for them. You know, it's just kind of showing that the range advantage they have with Swain and also Ezreal is helping Red a lot. It's helping Feel the Vibe a lot. I mean, the enemy team has good gap closers. They have Maplhite with his ultimate. They have Hecarim with his ultimate. We have the Nimbus Strike from... Oh, actually, let me stop myself right there. He actually does get out of the snare from Swain. Maplhite now caught in a little bit of bad position. They're just going to go ahead and start this fight, and Ezreal has not been spotted yet. He's just going to come right back in from behind, but Pantheon was melted first this time, so can BuddhaRice get away? He is exhausted. Meanwhile, armor slowly melting to the enemy team. They do finally take down Ezreal. That's going to help them a ton. Revive is still on cooldown. Hecarim, however, pays for it. Is taken down by Totalment on Swain, and Totalment actually may be able to pick up another killer, but is low on mana, and while other people are low on the enemy team, there's multiples of them. Armor is just chilling out on his own tower, seeing what he can do, seeing if he can delay it for just a tad bit. Pantheon has now spawned, so has Ezreal, and we see the Unstoppable Force coming in, but so has the Curse of the Sad Mummy, and Swain's going to pick up a double kill with the help of Amumu and the tower. So great Garrison. Shutdown goes to onisnake on Rammus, though, against armor.
Bottom end of the map, we have Wawix and Take Your Pill. Still pretty even down there on the bottom lane. Not a lot of action there so far, aside from what we had covered earlier on. But Spawnlegacy is swinging down towards this end of the map, and it looks like he is going to jump in for the stun, and he does get it off right there. Then we have the Twisted Advance, Hard Digger Strike. Maokai's ult goes down, adds in a little bit of damage, got the Ignite on him, and he goes down. And HaIfhearted is going to come down here. He's going to have to defend this tower. Wawix with the Revive immediately coming back down to defend that point. And onisnake as well coming down here. And if they clean this up quickly, they're probably going to make a move for bottom. I see Hecarim coming down here as well. They are definitely going to make that move as Wukong turns around the other way to defend that point. onisnake going with as well. And you can see right there Hecarim and Maplhite going over towards the point where Spawnlegacy's Pantheon is, and Wawix going back to defend against Take Your Pill at the Boneyard or the Quarry? I forget what that one's called. We got the dive going off over here. Spawnlegacy in between, you know, two members of the enemy team. He is taking a lot of damage. The point has been neutral, and Spawnlegacy is going to go down. Ezreal ult comes down, but is not terribly consequential, and it looks like they are going to be safe to pick up that point. Yes, there's absolutely no one in range. They are going to be able to secure that. Wawix is able to keep Take Your Pill away from the other point. However, on the top of the map, the refinery has been captured. That defense was not successful.
Yep, it was captured by armor, and I believe Totalment and BuddhaRice doing a really good cap while so much action was going down in bot lane. Take Your Pill has pretty much just shifted all the way from the bottom towers up to meet up with his teammates once again at the refinery. They see TempestEP and onisnake. You're going to let them just kind of push around, but Totalment is now in a 1v3. Spawnlegacy comes in, and he's going to go in and try to first stop the tower damage and then goes in for the damage. But look at that tower doing work onto Spawnlegacy, now onto Totalment. Totalment taking a ton of damage from Ryze and the tower combined. Wawix and HaIfhearted running both quite low, but the job was not finished. That's giving some time for Armor, Take Your Pill, and BuddhaRice to pressure down this quarry here in the bottom left. onisnake trying to do, oh, excellent powerball, disrupting all three people. That stops the entire cap, and then now activating the ultimate. That's going to continue stopping them while it is continuing to go off all around him as an AoE. BuddhaRice will pick up that kill. However, now HaIfhearted and Wawix have pretty much cornered Take Your Pill. They're going to pick up that kill. The point remains in possession of DeathToLlamas, but things are not looking too good for DeathToLlamas. They might be able to keep a 3 cap here for a second. Pantheon's going to go ahead and start capping the
While
drill.
That's going on, TempestEP did back cap that drill, and now he is going for the windmill. Capping the drill like that, you know, I mean, Armor or Spawnlegacy, you know, they only need one to cap that. They could have sent someone else off to somewhere on the map, but maybe they wanted to regroup there, and now waiting in the wings, onisnake and HaIfhearted over here by this speed shrine, and Hecarim and Wukong just right behind there. onisnake is going to go poke his head out, and they're going to go in for Armor first. No, they're going to go for Spawnlegacy, walking right past him. They want to interrupt him. They want to make sure he does not get that relic, and Spawnlegacy is going to go down. Totalment drops the bird, but he is outranged. Armor going to go down. BuddhaRice, wow, that damage really taking care of him there, and now Totalment in trouble. He's going to go down. And looks like onisnake and TempestEP, they're going to make a move for the drill right now. And it's just Armor down there. And he's going to come up and he's going to chase him away there. But that was a very, very good play by DeathToLlamas.
That was an excellent play, as you mentioned. Now that the tanky members have kind of built up their damage and even more of their durability with all that armor, especially for both Pantheon and Ezreal. Each of them have minimal magic resist for Swain and also Amumu up here. But they're really concerned about Pantheon and Ezreal. They focused on Pantheon immediately. Excellent choice. And we see that happening once again as Spawnlegacy really wants that Storm Shield. He's going to get taken down by Wukong. Total and BuddhaRice are going to have to run, while these three are going to start making up top to assist onisnake in this defense against Feel the Vibe. The snare is going to go down and catch ZenithZephyr. ZenithZephyr is going to have to make a run for it for the time being, maybe able to come back in for some extra damage. If the fight turns in their favor, it's actually absolutely in their favor, and it's going to end right there as Armor gets taken down. Here, we're just seeing that durability now finally come into play. Rammus is staying alive quite a bit. HaIfhearted also with that Frozen Heart, and also the Phage and a Hex Drinker, it appears, for the magic resist and also that magic shield passive that pops up when you take enough damage. So they have some good stats now, defense stats that each of them can gain damage from. Of course, Maplhite gains damage on his ground slam through armor. Rammus gains just default damage, and we see Spawnlegacy now coming up in the bottom. They're going to shift the focus of the game. It's just 2v1 against ZenithZephyr. Take Your Pill is at full health. He goes in with the Twisted Advance, but Spawnlegacy is still taking the tower damage. Spawnlegacy needs to watch out. They're going to finish him off immediately and be able to cap it to stop the tower damage.
Get caught by that speed shrine and get completely destroyed right there. However, Totalment and Armor are up, and they're both two very durable champs. HaIfhearted and onisnake are going to go ahead and get out of there. BuddhaRice looking to make a play against onisnake. He sees how low the onisnake is, but onisnake is quite fast and gonna... Oh, that's tricky. Gonna recall on the speed shrine. You'd think he would go through it. Nice little mind game there. Totalment and Armor up at the top end of the map, and things starting to kind of spiral out of control a little bit right here. Feel the Vibe now has 3 points to the 1 of DeathToLlamas. TempestEP getting chased away from that point, getting caught solo. Not going to be able to take that on his own. And Zephyr diving for that point. There's a couple of minions there. I don't know if those minions... Yes, they are going to kick that over to their side. Garrison goes down on it as well. And ZenithZephyr is going to get taken out. TempestEP very soon follow him. And there he goes. And it's not looking good at this point for DeathToLlamas.
Yep, I mean, they had the lead, but then, Take Your Pill was able to push out bot with the assistance from Spawnlegacy. Really good choice from Spawnlegacy to, say, you know what, forget the focus in mid and top. I'll go ahead and just help out bot, and we'll gain control of the map once again. The True Shot Barrage comes out and stops HaIfhearted, and he knows everyone's now going to come back from base. He kind of has to move around, make sure he's in a better position to run if they're going to come at him from the center platform. He does get the neutralize, but it's still 3-1 caps. I believe that is going to be game, ladies and gentlemen, in favor of Feel the Vibe on the purple team.
Is going to take this game. Things were starting to look good for DeathToLlamas there, but it sort of got derailed there at the end.